What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Monday evening, just finished up with work. A lot of you guys asked me what I thought about the Big Lenny situation. Like I said, I was there in the chat with you guys when Big Lenny was in the hospital. And like I said, some of you guys got upset at me for some of my statements, but I just want to make things clear. I stand by exactly what I said there. Big Lenny was having medical issues, obviously and clearly, and he made the decision to go to the hospital for treatment. Now, once you go to a hospital, there, folks, once you go to a hospital, urgent care, or anything like that, the best thing to do is to follow the advice of the doctors and nurses. Don't get in their way, okay? Because number one, if you're up there arguing with them, you're going to get them distracted from their jobs. Number two, they also know their jobs. Big Lenny is not a doctor, he has no medical training or anything like that. Uh, but doctors and nurses do. They're not going to let him die. So it's not like they didn't care for him or anything like that. They were just following their general procedures, which leads me to another thing. Usually, whenever you're in a hospital and they're still trying to figure out what's wrong with you, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to give you any water because that may possibly agitate the system or anything. Anytime a doctor and nurse doesn't know what's wrong with you or so forth, they're going to run tests first before you're allowed to eat and drink anything. That's just normal, okay? That's just normal. Now, from what it looked like he was more or less having possibly a panic attack, but then that's what I thought originally. But he may have some serious heart issues from the way the doctors and nurses were talking to him there. But honestly, again, I didn't find any wrongdoing from any of the doctors and nurses. I think they did their due diligence. I think it was not advantageous for Lenny to argue with the doctors and nurses. And here's my thing, folks. Once you choose to have a doctor and nurse treat you, then it's their responsibility to do so. Give myself an example. Last month. I cut my foot pretty bad. Could have went and got stitches, but instead, in order to because I've had this before and everything, and I've had the appropriate training, I simply took some clothespins, pinched the skin together, super glued it, and cleaned it with hydrogen peroxide, and then slapped a bandage on it there. And it worked just fine. It healed up there. I didn't have to go and spend umpteen dollars. I didn't have to go wait in the lobby or anything like that. This is just standard, some stuff I learned from the military as well as learned working at the detention center. It's just basic first aid. And yes, folks, you can use super glue to cover up cuts here in lieu of using stitches here. Guys should look that up. But that's the whole thing. But whenever I had any conditions that I could not treat, I went to urgent care and I went to the hospital per se, either one or the other. And you know what? I let them treat me. I kept my mouth shut. I didn't get up in their business or anything like that. And I hope you guys take my advice there. Don't get in the way of the nurses or doctors or anything like that. Uh, because there's always a reason that they're doing things. You're welcome to ask and inquire. That is your right. But asking, you don't want to go to the point to where that asking becomes being arguing about how your treatment is. Okay, it's quite simple. Now, as far as the whereabouts of Big Lenny, I'm not sure. I've not seen him ever since he made that video yesterday. I've not heard one word about him. I still hope that he's okay. I wouldn't wish anything bad upon anyone or anything like that. But I just wanted to make this video just to clarify my thoughts on the entire situation. So, what do you guys think? Just leave your comments below. But again, uh, That's all I got to say for right now. Like and subscribe to the Vince Goodrum channel. Click the link below or visit vincegoodrum.com. And as always, peace and soul.